अगले 30 सेकंड्स में आप बदल सकते हैं अपने लाइफ का ट्रैक एंड नेवर लुक बैक।
यार छोड़ो ये सारे हैक्स एंड सिंपली लर्न टू गेट अहेड। जैसे कि दानिश, a civil engineer turned data scientist who decided to simply learn। और कैसे हुआ ये पॉसिबल?
With a course from a premier university, मेरे करियर ने लिया एक नया डायरेक्शन।
True champion who upskilled to win big. How big?
A massive hike that transformed my life.
Danish changed gears pretty early in the race. But Prasan wanted to explore more to get ahead. इसीलिए उसने करा Simply Learn. From mechanical engineering to a data analyst and a podcaster in his free time. ऐसा career transformation कैसे bro?
Simplilearn के इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट से सीखा लाइव और खुद बन गया डेटा एक्सपर्ट।
इतना कुछ इतनी जल्दी डिफिकल्ट तो रहा होगा।
With a well-structured course, it felt like a piece of cake.
That is simply awesome. What's also awesome is that 9 साल के long career के बाद Nitin didn't choose a quick fix. He just added data science into the mix. Nitin, how did you change the game?
Worked on real industry problems to become the real deal.
A joint family, a regular job, responsibilities तो बहुत थी, but nothing could stop Nitin from getting ahead. What an all-rounder.
Day ho ya night, with flexible learning, you can always make it right.
Passion या situation चाहे जो भी हो, नितिन, दानिश और प्रसन की तरह you too will find your way to get ahead when you simply learn. क्योंकि आपके लिए shortcuts नहीं, simply learn है सही. Get ahead with Simply Learn.
Hi, Sandeep. I'll be sharing my screen. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening. Let me just quickly share my screen. Hello, everyone. We'll be starting the free industry insights session on what's changing in block space for 2024 and beyond. I'm your host, Rasha Khan. I'm joining all the way from Bangalore, India. And you can let us know where are you tuning in from by sharing your name and your location. And we can have a little bit of conversation as we start the session. I can see folks have started, sharing few responses on the chat here. That's great. Would love to know where are you joining us from on the chat here. Let's network a bit, right? Like these events are really great for networking before we even start. So yeah, I think I can see Arvind has joined from Bengaluru. Nakul, Naveen, good evening to everyone. Nakul has joined from Punjab here. So meanwhile, folks are still joining in. We will be just going through the ground rules quickly here. So you can put down your questions in the Q&A box if in case you have any questions related to blockchain for our speaker who's already joined us in the Q&A box here. You can easily navigate it by basically going just beside the chat box if you're joined from mobile or your laptop. So it will be easier for us to take your questions there. Also, the session is being recorded in case you want to go through the recording of the session again, in case you have missed out anything. You can expect a follow-up email from us with the recording link, webinar certificate, and bonus offer for the program which we'll be talking about for attending this webinar. So we'll be revealing that towards the end of the session. And also to request a proof of attendance for this webinar, you can enter your full name in the post-webinar survey that you'll be getting once we end the webinar. So I think I can basically clear any query you have about the attendance part towards the end of the session. So let's start the session for now. So let me take you to the agenda of today's session. We'll be starting with getting to know a little bit more about you and how we can help you out in your blockchain career. And also what's changing in the blockchain space in 2024. We'll be talking about that. And careers in blockchain technology in 2024. What are the hottest skills, trends? We'll be covering those. So basically, it's a very interesting session lined up today. And also, we'll be talking about the program by IIT Kanpur's professional certificate program in blockchain and what exactly this program offers. And also, there'll be a special duration for the Q&A part. So in case we'll try to address most of your queries throughout the session, we'll try to take questions throughout the session. But in case we're not able to address your queries, we will be taking it towards the end of the session. So please don't worry about if your question does not get answered. I'll make sure that all of your questions are basically addressed by our speaker today who has joined us. So as I mentioned earlier, that we will be getting to know a little bit more about you as we start. I'm just launching a quick poll here to understand, what kind of experience do you have? So this will be very interesting to understand. Usually folks who join these webinars, come from different set of experiences. So there's a quick poll on the screen, which I've just launched. How many years of experience do you currently have? So we can just start with that. See, I'll just read out those options for you as well. The first one is currently studying. Second one is 0 to 3 years. Third one, 3 to 5 years. And the last one, more than 5 years from now. As I was speaking, I can already see that folks have already started voting for the poll here. That's great. We have gotten a really active set of audience here and also aspiring learners in blockchain. So pretty excited for the session. And you can let us know. For folks, I saw that a lot of new folks have also joined as we were basically going through the ground rules and the agenda of the session here. And I can see introductions coming in on the chat here. So that's great. Folks have already shared the response on the poll. Please do introduce yourself on the chat. Please let us know where are you joining us from. It's always good to network, right? These events. So I can see Nazidul has joined from Bangladesh. I can see Tausif has joined from Pakistan. I can see Naveen has joined from Andhra Pradesh. And Nakul has joined from Punjab. Arvind has joined from Bengaluru. That's great. Keep the introductions coming in. Also, just folks who have just joined now, just to let you know, we are starting the session. We're just doing a quick experience poll here before we start, just to know a little bit about you. We're just doing a quick round of introduction on the chat here. So once again, I'm Rasha Khan. I'm your host for today's webinar, and I'm thrilled to be your host today. And you can let us know where are you joining us from on the chat here as we start. Awesome. I think most of the folks have already shared responses for the poll here. So I'll just give 5 seconds more to quickly point out basically towards the poll of how many years of experience do you currently have. So also we've gotten a pretty interesting responses here. I'll share that. I'll just end the poll in 5 seconds. So quickly go and vote in case you have not voted yet. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks. So as we can see here, very interesting results here that almost equal amount of folks have voted. So we have gotten almost 30% votes for more than 5 years of experience folks, 35% for currently studying, 35% for 0 to 3 years, and none have voted for 3 to 5 years. So that's interesting. So basically we have gotten folks from almost every path of experience here. So thank you so much once again for joining and also sharing that with us. As I mentioned earlier, we already have a speaker, Dr. Sandeep Shukla here with us. First of all, welcome, Sandeep, and would like to thank you for taking the time out, and taking us through this interesting industry masterclass which we'll be doing. And the topic only seems interesting. I'm excited for it. And would you like to give us your introduction before we start?
Yeah, so thank you, Rasha. And I am Sandeep Shukla. I am a professor here at the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. And I'm also a coordinator for the National Blockchain Project, which has been running here for last 5 years. We have been doing a lot of blockchain research, blockchain implementation for various government agencies, like we have done for the Karnataka state, we have done for UP government, and we have also done for various institutes in India for self-sovereign identity-based certification. And then we also work a lot on crime that happens in the blockchain, like the cryptocurrency related crimes. So we have developed tools and technologies for tracking crime on the cryptocurrency blockchain. I also coordinate the Interdisciplinary Center for Cybersecurity and Cyber Defense for Critical Infrastructures, or what we call C3I Center here. I'm also a director of the C3I Hub, which is a technology innovation hub in cybersecurity. So I basically done multiple different hats. Before coming to IIT Kanpur in 2015, I was a professor at Virginia Tech and State University in Virginia, US, for about 13 years, for exactly 13 years. And before that, also, I did my studies in New York, State University of New York at Albany, and I did my before joining the academia in 2002. I worked in the industry for several years, including Verizon and Intel Corporation and University of California at Irvine.
Thank you so much. That is a very long set of experiences and interesting blockchain, projects you're working on. So I think we have been talking about this in other basically AI/ML and blockchain webinars as well. So I think we have very interesting session lined up, and we would love to know your insights in the session. So we're really looking forward to it. So let's start. Let's start with what's changing in the blockchain space for 2024. Here. So as we can see, the trends in blockchain adoption, basically we have seen increased adoption here. So can you take us through these trends in blockchain which folks can expect in 2024?
Yeah, so actually the blockchain as a technology is part of a broader technology called distributed ledger technology, right? So the distributed ledger technology is seen as a very, decentralization of information, decentralization of trust, and decentralization of responsibility of running a system. So right now, if you think about any system like web-based systems like Facebook or Google or YouTube or any such systems, they are actually centralized. They are running from data centers run by those companies, and every information that you see or every information that you share there goes to a central location. What happens there is that then you have to trust that particular organization to actually not only keep your information secure, but also not share with somebody else without your permission, and also in order to make sure that certain things are responsible for sharing and for using as information. Now what happened in 2009 is that there was this mysterious work that came out in the form of Bitcoin blockchain, and that first time showed how to create a distributed system in which there is no central controller. There is nobody who is unilaterally responsible for running the system. Still the system ran, and the system also kept a ledger which is replicated across all the participating computers which are run by individuals whose identities are not necessarily known to everybody, and thereby distributing the notion of responsibility and trust across a large number of individuals or large number of computers run by individuals. So so that created also a kind of a cryptocurrency in the form of Bitcoin. But people realized soon that it doesn't have to be about currency, or it doesn't have to be about crypto assets. It can be used for keeping things a little more trustworthy without without reposing your trust on a single entity. So, for example, if you want to do a property registration, deed registration, now you go to a sub-registrar's office and they have their own IT system where you actually upload all the information and they keep it there. And when you go back there, you have to trust them to ensure that they do not tamper with the information about who owns which land or which property, etc. So, but if you do this with a blockchain, then you do not have to trust a single entity. You have to trust a number of entities, and the hope is that if the number of entities are creating the trust together, and they are unlikely to collude with each other, unlikely to enter into a malicious enterprise to actually change your information or deprive you of your rights to your property and things like that. So that's the idea. Now, because of this idea, people started talking about that, okay, so this is a way to do new way of doing, for example, web technology. So as I said, that the current web technology, like, in terms of social media, in terms of any kind of other web applications, like banking application and so on, everything runs from a single data center run by a particular entity. What if we can have a web system, social media system, or any other kind of web application that is not centrally controlled by a single entity, but a multiple set of entities or multiple individuals who are not necessarily trusting each other, but overall a trust is created because of the fact that we can assume that not all of them will collude together. So that's what the idea of Web3 is, and it blockchain is kind of considered the basis of this Web3 technology. And because of this notion that you can do things which I can trust better than I can trust in central system, there is also many applications, many kind of applications in the real world where multiple entities have to interact and process information and then send that information to another entity for further processing. So payment is, for example, the payment system. When you make a payment to, let's say, a cross-border payment, you make a payment to somebody in the United States, for example, from India, the information that you are sending money, your account has to be debited and somebody else's account far away has to be credited. All that information has to be shared in multiple different hubs across multiple different centralized systems. So people started thinking that if we can do a completely transparent system where every entity that is necessary for whose work it is necessary to get that kind of information, they can get it without having to worry about the next party not behaving in a malicious way and things like that. So therefore people started talking about creating such applications like supply chain or cross-border payments, and letter of credit in trade finance, this kind of application. So there are a lot of applications people have been experimenting with. The transparency, efficiency, in the sense that now instead of having to wait for multiple days to have a, let's say, cross-border payment, if somebody remitting dollar to India to their parents, that takes multiple days. So this could be done rather instantaneously in case we can come up with a blockchain-based solution. So that's the kind of thing that people have been imagining and also implementing. So the uh, there is also applications, like if you have a hospital system, like let's say Apollo or something, and you go in Chennai Apollo Hospital, and then you travel to say Calcutta, and you need to go to the Apollo Hospital. You want that information about your past treatment in Apollo Chennai to be visible in Apollo Calcutta. So this could be done in many different ways, but blockchain is one effective way to do that. So healthcare patient record over blockchain for sharing across large scale information system. Or if you consider things like Ayushman Bharat, where your patient record could be accessed from any government hospital all across India, then you need some kind of a system where patient records are instantaneously accessible with security. So your privacy, security, etc., are also a matter of concern there. So with that, and also we are seeing now gaming industry is embracing this Web3 technology, metaverse. There's this concept of metaverse. So there are lots of things that people have been talking about where they see blockchain as a way of implementing the things that more effectively, more efficiently, more transparently than before. So that's the situation in terms of industrial trends.
Thank you so much for taking us through the trends in blockchain adoption. All of them actually sound very interesting, and I see a lot of career opportunities, coming out of it as well, which we'll be talking about in the career slides. Now, let's talk about the technological advancement in blockchain. So, Sandeep, like blockchain has been in the basically industry, I would say, in the last 5 or 7 years. Like it has basically evolved a lot. And there have been a lot of technological advancements as well in blockchain. So, can you take us through these advancements and talk about maybe what has happened and what we can see in the future as well?
Yeah, so blockchain, as I said, it started in 2009 with Bitcoin, and we started seeing, initially most of the blockchain applications were related to cryptocurrency. But as I said, that soon people realized that it has many other applications. But one of the major problem with blockchain compared to a centralized database kind of system is that it is rather slow. So in terms of because you are trying to create trust by not having any single party to be trusted. Therefore, there is a protocol that has to execute, consensus protocol that has to execute, which makes things rather slow. Second problem is that blockchain, there are many different types of blockchain that has been developed, which means that a lot of applications are in silos. They actually are developed, some are developed in Ethereum, some are developed in Hyperledger, some are developed in Coda, some are developed in some other blockchain technology. And therefore, what happens is that if you develop these things in silos, you basically do not get the advantage of having this end-to-end information transfer, end-to-end transparency, end-to-end trust kind of thing. So therefore, second problem is that we need to have interoperable solutions that talk to each other. Right, two systems that talk to each other. So that's the second part. So one is the fact that it is rather slow in terms of getting things, getting information processed because of the distributed trust. Second is that it's developed in silos, and therefore, they need to interoperate with each other. Third thing was that some of these blockchains like Bitcoin and until recently Ethereum, for example, they are based on some consensus algorithm called proof of work. This proof of work is very, very energy inefficient. So you have to burn a lot of electric energy to actually get this consensus done. So therefore, there is it's very expensive actually to get this so much electricity. It's in fact to run the Bitcoin network, you basically spend as much energy as some of the small European countries. So that is another issue. So because of this, multiple different solutions are being proposed as we speak in last several years. So one of the thing is that how to make blockchains interoperable. How do you make two blockchains talk to each other? They may be different technology, like one may be Ethereum, one may be Polkadot, or one may be some other technology. Second is that even if they're the same technology, they're developed and run by two different enterprises, or two different set of enterprises, and they need to talk to each other in order for things to work smoothly across multiple different applications. So that's interoperability is another area of research and development that is going on right now. Scalability, that is how can we process things much faster, is another issue. And this is where this concept of layer 2 blockchains have come up, right? So the blockchains can now, like the blockchains that I mentioned before, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. These are what we call layer 1 blockchain, and they are the consensus protocol is very onerous, and therefore they process information rather slowly. But if you decide that, okay, I will actually relax these requirements, stringent requirement for consensus a bit, then I can have a side chain on which I can do things faster, and then eventually I will verify, or I will come to the more stringent blockchain to write the history of what I have done in the relaxed blockchain, so that whatever you have done in the relaxed blockchain is further verified in a batch in the layer 1 blockchain. So that's the layer 2 blockchain idea. So that's where Lightning Network, for example, various other layer 2 blockchain concepts have come. In fact, this Polygon, for example, which is one of the Indian blockchain companies, they actually are layer 2 blockchain for Ethereum. So that's the idea of how to make things faster. Another way to make things faster is to actually do what is called sharding. So sharding is an idea that was there in database industry for a long time. So when you have a very large database, you want to find something in that database, it takes a long time. So if you shard the database, that is, if you split the data of the database into multiple different fragments, and then somehow when you are trying to search something, you have a way to know which fragment has the data, then you have to do rather less work because that fragment has less information than the entire thing. So that's the idea of sharding. So here also we can do sharding of based on transactions or various other ways, so that the information is kind of fragmented. So, and then the inter-shard activities are rather limited. So you actually do most of your activities within the same fragment, and then sometimes you have to go across the fragments, but that is percentage of the such activities being low, you gain a lot of performance. So that is the idea. So therefore, in the blockchain space, as we see, we are seeing basically three different technological innovation that is going on. One is layer 2 blockchains, you can even have layer 3, multi-layer blockchains. Second thing is interoperability technologies like Cosmos or Polkadot, or even in case of IBM's, there are multiple other interoperability innovations most recently. Third thing is that you move from energy inefficient consensus protocols to energy efficient consensus protocols. So that's what happened in 2022 when Ethereum went from proof of work to proof of stake consensus. So these are the exciting things that are happening in terms of technology innovation in the blockchain space.
Thank you so much for taking us through the technological advancement in blockchain. As you have talked about the advancement here, like the regulatory landscape and also the career opportunities which are coming up in blockchain, can we talk about that as well?
Yeah, so Well, in blockchain, as I said, that the blockchain has clearly two different aspects. So one is blockchain that started as a way to generate and transfer cryptocurrencies. Now, cryptocurrencies are actually not the currency usually is country specific. It's actually like India has rupees and US has US dollars, or Singapore has Singapore dollars, etc. Europe has euros. Now these are currencies, right? And these are actually created by the central bank of that jurisdiction. So it could be Reserve Bank of India, or Federal Reserve in the US, or Singapore Monetary Authority for Singapore, and so on. Now, when you create something that you claim to be currency, it becomes a little bit of a dicey proposition, because it's actually not something that is government created or central bank created. It's something that you are calling currency. So you can actually take a bottle and say that I'm going to use this to exchange food, right? In exchange for food, I will use this water bottle, right? So that then your water bottle can be used into some limited extent as some kind of a currency, but that does not make it a really currency in the sense that that the central bank currency, like rupees and dollar, etc. are. So there has been a lot of friction between the cryptocurrency blockchain proponents and the businesses that are associated with this cryptocurrency blockchain, like cryptocurrency exchanges and the regulators, like Reserve Bank of India or Federal Reserve, or and also some because of the price fluctuation of the cryptocurrency, it does not have the property of a currency. Currencies don't fluctuate like that. Like Bitcoin became 65,000 US dollars in 2021, and then by April 2022, it was like below $20,000, right? So you cannot have that. So then there is also claim that cryptocurrencies are actually securities, that is like stocks. So these are kind of frictions that are there. So there has been a lot of talk about whether some jurisdictions will ban cryptocurrency, some jurisdictions will allow cryptocurrency. So recently, G20 countries, they came up with a recommendation that countries really cannot ban cryptocurrency because it is very difficult to enforce the ban. Although they say that cryptocurrencies are actually problematic in terms of financial stability of a country and all that stuff, but it cannot be really banned because it's very difficult to do it. So therefore, they ask for us that everybody comes up with some regulations, and they give a broad outline of what the regulations might look like. So that gave the people some kind of a regulatory clarity, although it's still not there, but at least people are kind of expecting that the most jurisdictions will not ban it. So therefore, most jurisdictions will probably allow it as some kind of a asset class, not as currency, but as some asset class like stocks and bonds and things like that. So therefore, there will be regulations, and once the regulations are there will be a lot more clarity about where this is going, like which direction it is going, and so on. So that is the regulatory aspects. The other issue is that there are more people now who understand blockchain technology because of the various opportunities to learn, and many universities now teach courses in blockchain. We do here in our curriculum, not as elective, not a requirement, but as elective. And then there are a lot of courses like this course, like in that Simplilearn runs with IIT Kanpur. So people are getting more and more, getting a workforce that will work on your blockchain project is getting slightly easier. Now, there are ethical considerations here, as I said, because lot of times, because the nature of cryptocurrencies, the pseudo anonymity of cryptocurrencies, lot of illicit activities happen there, like for example money laundering and things like that. So that is another area where the government is pretty concerned. But there is also many governments now are coming up with their own digital currency, which is not like cryptocurrency, which is very different from cryptocurrency, which is basically a digital form of their own currency. Like for example, in India now we have e-rupee, which is the digital rupees, which may use blockchain technology for its implementation, but it's not cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrencies are very different from CBDCs. And also there are some work in terms of compliance. Once you have regulations, you have to comply with the regulations, but there is also many other compliance things, like for example, you have to comply with certain accounting standards and things like that in banks and so on. So we have seen some activities there in terms of creating compliance technology on blockchain. Also because of this regulation issues and there is also this notion of real world asset tokenization. So you can actually use a blockchain to tokenize, for example, a property, or you can tokenize gold, or you can tokenize commodities. And the question is, and then you can sell and buy a fraction of those properties or fraction of a gold bar through these tokens, because tokens are digital, so they can be fractionalized. But because of this new kind of assets, there would be legal and other issues that will come up. There would be regulatory issues, legal issues, so therefore there is also interest in many in the legal fraternity. There is interest in learning about blockchain technology, tokenization, and this kind of concepts.
Thank you so much for taking us through the regulatory landscape and the career opportunities here. We have gone through the trends here. We've gotten through the technological advancements here in blockchain in the coming year and beyond. So just one second. So sorry. Some technical issue. Yes, we are back. So we have talked about the trends here in blockchain. We have talked about the technological advancements here in blockchain in 2024 and beyond. And we have also talked about the career opportunities here in blockchain, which will arise, through a lot of things we have discussed. We'll be talking more about the skills and careers, and the tools which are upcoming in the upcoming slides here. But maybe Sandeep, you can take us through a summary of what's changing in the blockchain space in 2024 for the folks, just to summarize a bit, because we have talked about a lot of things here.
Yeah, so as I said, that the blockchain technology is evolving really fast. So couple of terms that are kind of spoken about in the parlance of blockchain. One is Web3, that is the new web technologies that will be decentralized. There is also the tokenization of assets, including real world assets. We also are seeing a lot of use of blockchain technology in the currency space, which is not cryptocurrency but government currencies, the fiat currencies like e-rupee in India, CBDC, the central bank digital currencies. And because of and then in terms of technological changes, we are seeing in blockchain space, scalability through layering of blockchains, so layer 2 blockchains. We are seeing interoperability to connect multiple different blockchain-based applications, so that they can interoperate with each other. And we are seeing this idea of tokenization of use of smart contracts to actually create and to try manage the life cycle of tokens. So, and because of this, we need not only technology people but also legal and regulatory experts in the blockchain technology.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking us through the summary here. Now let's move on to talk about the careers in blockchain development in 2024. So here we can see the hottest skills in the blockchain space in upcoming in 2024. Maybe can you take us through these skills here?
Yeah. So first of all, blockchain development, there is always a new scope for a new blockchain technology. So we have so many, like Bitcoin, we have Ethereum, we have layer 2 Ethereums like Polygon, we have Solana, we have IOTA, we have Corda, we have various types of blockchains, and then there could be many other blockchain technology that so many times people are not happy with the technology. It doesn't give them all the things that they want, so they go on developing new blockchain technology. So blockchain development is obviously one thing that is one might be interested in. The other thing that would people might be interested in is to develop smart contracts. How do you develop smart contracts to develop applications, distributed applications or DApps? Also, you can think about securing the blockchain, because blockchain is running on many different nodes. So you have to secure them. You have to secure the smart contracts. As I said, that you need to have cross-chain integration, that is the interoperability. And then how to govern a blockchain, because a blockchain is a distributed system. So you have to have rules and methods for making sure that the blockchain actually runs all the time, so that people have access to the functionalities that are provided by the blockchain. It should not be there has to be cyber security, risk assessment, all this stuff. So blockchain governance is very important. In some blockchain, all the information is public, but in many applications, such as medical application or financial applications, you have to use encryption mechanism and maybe advanced encryption mechanism like multi-party computation or the zero knowledge proof, etc. That you will require to actually provide privacy as along with transparency. Some new applications of blockchain is in the decentralized finance, so DeFi. NFTs are non-fungible tokens and asset tokenization. This is another area where there would be interest. Supply chain for blockchain. DAO management. DAO are decentralized autonomous organization where the governance is completely autonomous. So that's another interesting area of that can be enabled by blockchain. Understanding if you're going to develop a new token, let's say you are an airline, or you are a restaurant chain, or you are a grocery chain, and you want to provide credits points for the purchase of the customers. So you can, instead of giving it in terms of notional points, you can give them as tokens. So how would you make that token viable, and that token's life cycle will be managed and so on. So that's brings the tokenomics. And then there is also, of course, decentralized identity or self-sovereign identity. There is also blockchain analytics. That is when you analyze cryptocurrency blockchains to see what is going on, and in terms of whether there is any illegal activities going on in a particular blockchain, that is blockchain analytics. And then there is gaming plus decentralized finance. These are some of the hottest skills in blockchain space.
Thank you so much, Sandeep, for taking us through these hottest skills in the blockchain space in 2024. There are plenty of skills, folks can take up. And let's talk about the tools, libraries, platforms, they should be learning. And we have covered like few here. I'm pretty sure there are many more, but maybe you can take us like, what will be like a very important tool, library or platform for someone who's completely coming from a different background, does not have any knowledge of blockchain. Where would you recommend them to start with in any of the tools here?
Yeah, so for anybody who wants to learn blockchain from the beginning, for them to understand how Bitcoin blockchain works is very important. Even though you are not going to probably do cryptocurrency blockchains and so on, but the basic concepts of peer-to-peer communication, broadcasting information across all the nodes, creation of transactions, validating transactions, combining transactions into blocks, mining of the blocks, consensus algorithms, all these things are in the Bitcoin blockchain, and therefore it is very, very important to understand Bitcoin blockchain, even though that's where not necessarily where you will be developing your applications and so on. But Bitcoin is a very illustrative, educational, blockchain concepts, and it basically introduces all the basic concepts of blockchain. But Bitcoin does not give you much programmability. You cannot write, you cannot autonomize or create autonomy on the Bitcoin blockchain easily. Although the newest version of Bitcoin, especially some of the forks of Bitcoin, has introduced that. So Ethereum is probably the second thing that you have to learn, and you will learn how to write smart contracts. After Ethereum and Bitcoin, so for Ethereum smart contracts, you have to learn Solidity. You have to use Truffle for creating the environment for experimenting with Ethereum. And then for a non-permission blockchain, for a permission blockchain, you can learn Hyperledger and through Hyperledger Fabric. And you can also learn a few other blockchains because if you want to actually learn things eventually, in a course of blockchain, you can only learn a few things. But you have to be at the end of a course, you will be ready to learn on your own much more. And to do that, you have to have a diversity of different concepts that you should learn. So Bitcoin, Ethereum, Hyperledger, they will give you the diversity of different concepts from which you can bootstrap your knowledge. So that's the idea of this.
Thank you so much for giving us an idea basically where you can start and where you can basically go from there as well. Obviously, a lot of these tools, platforms, libraries are covered in the program which we'll be talking about. But also, we have talked about the hottest skills in the blockchain space in 2024. What career paths they can take up. But let's focus on these trending blockchain career paths, which will be pretty, in demand in 2024.
Yeah. So, well, whether it will be in demand in 2024 is, I don't know, but at least these are the various blockchain career paths, right? So you can become a blockchain developer. You can most blockchain applications require a front end that is usually web technology based. So you can have blockchain web designer. You can become a solution architect when blockchain developer is who actually you are asked to develop a particular application, smart contracts and so on. You do that, but solution architect actually decides which blockchain technology is the most important, which most relevant to this particular problem statement, how it should be architected, and whether it should be permissioned or permissionless, whether the smart contracts will be refactored or there will be a monolithic large smart contract. All those concepts are actually from a blockchain solution architect. A project manager would actually manage a blockchain based project when the customer wants a blockchain based application designed. user experience designer, this is something that that front end will require. Quality engineer will be actually working on the validating, testing the smart contracts and so on, so that it doesn't have security bugs and so on. Or it might also debug the performance issues and so on. And legal consultant is when you have a blockchain based application, you have multiple enterprises involved in maintaining the blockchain. So there will be legal contracts between these entities, apportioning responsibility of who is responsible in case of a security breach, in case of a data leak, and so on and so forth. So legal issues might come up in the blockchain space.
Thank you so much, Cindy, for taking us through these trending blockchain careers, career paths they can take up at 2024. Obviously, we cannot confirm or justify if these will be in demand, but definitely we can basically, give them an idea about, what can be those career paths you can take up. What are the possible career paths? So moving on, as we have talked about the skills here, we have talked about the career paths here. Obviously, if you're aspiring to become a blockchain expert, so the salary also matters, right? So as the demands are increasing, the salaries are also basically are much more in demand. For example, here the annual salary of a blockchain developer in India, minimum salary, if basically you join, you get 6 lakhs per annum, and an average of 18 lakhs per annum, and a maximum of 35 lakhs per annum to start with. And the hiring companies we have here basically are IBM, White Force, Collins Aerospace, and EY being one of those companies here. And so basically, we have talked about the skills here. We have talked about the trends in career here, what you can basically take up in the space of blockchain here. So, and what exactly is stopping you from becoming a blockchain expert here? We would love to know what is the biggest challenge here when it comes to taking up a blockchain career. I'm pretty sure you're here because you're interested in a blockchain career and you're aspiring to become a blockchain expert, or seeing yourself in a blockchain space here in 2024. And so we would love to know, you can see this quick poll I've launched, where basically we would love to know what exactly is stopping you from becoming a blockchain expert developer, taking up the career here. So from all the hottest trends, skills, and the career paths, we have taken up basically how the blockchain space is going to change in 2024 and beyond. We have talked about those things. So you can see 4 quick options here. This is a multiple choice question. So in case you want to select multiple options, you can do that here. In case this poll does not cover your responses here, you can let us know what is the biggest challenge you're facing when it comes to taking up a career in blockchain or becoming a blockchain expert here. So you can let us know in the chat or in the Q&A box here. That will be also okay. So I'll just read out those options for you here in the poll here. The first one here is, I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. Second one, I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. And the third one, I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. And the last one, my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. As we saw with the experience poll, that a lot of experienced folks have joined us. So I think that option definitely makes sense. And I can see the polls are quickly moving as we're speaking. And folks are pretty active here. Because we have gotten most of the responses in the poll here, but we would love to know from few of the folks who are still basically going and making a choice in the poll here. So I'll give 10 seconds for the poll here before we move on. So we would love to know what is your biggest challenge here when it comes to taking up a blockchain career, aspiring for a blockchain career, becoming a blockchain expert here. Awesome. I think I'll just give 5 seconds more for the poll here, because we have gotten almost plenty of responses from the folks who have joined us. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and also share the results with you folks. So let's see. As we can see here, that we have gotten 56% of the votes for I wouldn't get the practical exposure I need to become job ready. 50% of the folks have voted for my work schedule won't allow me enough time for learning. And 31% of the folks have voted for I can't find a program with a fully comprehensive curriculum. And few of the folks have voted for I find it difficult to learn from pre-recorded videos. So thank you so much for sharing the biggest concern, biggest challenge here you have, when you are trying to aspire for a blockchain career. So let me introduce you IIT Kanpur's professional certificate program in blockchain. This comes with a comprehensive curriculum with an industry aligned learning path. You get access to integrated labs, hands-on projects which you can work on for practical experience, which we also got, as one of the biggest concerns, right? We'll be covering about the projects in the upcoming slides, and online live virtual classroom, which you get access to with peer and instructor interaction here. And also this program will be flexible to fit your lifestyle and schedule, as the program duration is of 4 months, but you can just complete it by giving 5 to 10 hours per week. So, and we will talk about how this program basically builds your blockchain skills step by step. But also, just to let you know, folks, thank you so much for interesting questions in the Q&A box here. We are very eager to address all of your queries here before we move on. So please have some patience. We'll be addressing them pretty soon. So I think Sandeep, can you take us through these steps? What exactly happens in this program in blockchain?
Yeah, so in the beginning, you go through an orientation session, then you go into, as I said, that, to understand the Bitcoin blockchain technology will give you a very solid, if you understand Bitcoin very well, you are halfway there. You understand how the blockchain technology works. And then you go into the smart contracts based blockchain. So you will have to go to Ethereum and learn to write smart contracts and so on. While doing the Bitcoin and also the Ethereum, you understand the concept of consensus and some cryptographic concepts. And then you move on to the permission blockchain like Hyperledger Fabric. And then you actually learn some applications. And then you have to do a capstone project, which is curated by industry people for the students, so that they can actually do some realistic projects in the blockchain of their choice, and then also use that experience in their CV.
Thank you so much for taking us through the steps in the program, how basically it builds your blockchain skills step by step. Also, the elective here, the IIT Kanpur academic masterclasses, which you get access to, are completely optional. It is up to you if you want to take it. It comes as a part of the program. We don't charge anything extra for that. Now, talking about the eligibility and prerequisites here, I think someone asked about the eligibility part here, so let me just share that with you. So need to have a basic understanding of mathematics, basic understanding of Java is preferred here if you take up the program. I think it was pretty clear from the explanation even Sandeep gave. And also you need to have a bachelor's degree with the 50% or higher marks, and no work experience is required for this. So folks who basically don't have a work experience, that's totally okay. And also Simplilearn comes with a job as a service that helps you with your job search. Where this is for Indian learners. I'll share the link of the program. You can check out for your own region as well. So here you get free access to expert webinars and career events with the industry leaders. You get options to choose from real world projects across industries, which you can work on through this program. And all the tools and the platforms which we have talked about are covered in this program as well. And basically the job as a services is in association with IMJobs. So we have partnered with them, in which you get resume review, interview prep, one-on-one interview prep services, resume rewrite services from that. So as we have talked about basically the program here, let's take a few burning questions which we have gotten on the Q&A box as promised. So let me just quickly, as we have gotten a lot of questions, let me do one thing. Let me just put down a question for you on the chat here, Sandeep. So maybe it will be easier for you to find when we take it. So I can see I've just shared one question here from the Q&A box. We can see this is from maybe I'm not able to make out the name here. I'm so sorry. I'll just read out the question. So for an established data architect, what are the opportunities with blockchain?
Well, data architecture, I assume, is designing, working on data model, and also architecting the database schemas and things like that, or refactoring the database, this kind of stuff. So I don't think that there is a direct connection to data architecture experience with blockchain. Of course, a person with such kind of experience will be very efficient in taking up blockchain technology, basic knowledge and so on. But I don't think that there would be a direct correlation with the, if I understand what data architect means correctly, then I don't think that there is any specific immediate advantage.
Thank you so much for taking up that question. Please let us know on the chat or in the Q&A box if that answers your question. And also you can ask us a follow-up question as well. So we have one more question by Ravi here, who basically asked that application of blockchain in e-commerce industry.
Well, application of blockchain, e-commerce industry. So e-commerce industry is where you actually put a store on the web, and you actually the customers go to the website and make payments, and you have in the back end you have warehouse and you have an inventory database and things like that. So I'm not sure. I mean, there is a much advantage of doing that kind of a system into a blockchain based system. Probably not.
Okay. Thank you so much for answering that, Sandeep. I hope that answers your question. We have gotten one question in the starting of the session. Like I just pointed out. Basically says that I am a software developer with over 3+ years of experience, and I'm planning to switch either to AI/ML or blockchain, career in 2024. So will this course actually help me out, in basically switching to the blockchain space and learning a lot about, blockchain and basically moving my career towards blockchain completely?
Well, this course will certainly, get you well introduced to blockchain technology, how it works, and get you practical hands-on exercises to write smart contracts and put set up a Hyperledger environment or an Ethereum environment and so on, and in the capstone project you will do something that is probably will be interesting to you. But eventually no course will make you immediately ready for a blockchain expertise. You will not be considered a blockchain expert just because you took and successfully completed a course. You have to use the basic things that you learn and the experience that you have in hands-on and so on to actually hone your skill, create your own projects, put them on GitHub, so that you can actually brag about them to your potential employer, and employer can actually go to GitHub and get your thing downloaded and try out your things and see the quality of your code and all that stuff, and then only you will be considered for good jobs in that in blockchain technology. So I'd say while it is interesting to do, but your expectation should be not that I do it and then next day people are knocking at my door for blockchain job. That is not how it works.
Definitely. I totally agree to that. I think a course can definitely help you give a direction and give you that knowledge, towards you can go. But you need to basically keep updating your skills, keep working on, I think we have gotten a few questions about the projects here, and keep basically connecting with people of, similar space. There are a lot of things that can be done, beyond actually studying something or taking up course. That totally agree to that. But definitely the course definitely helps you giving some kind of perspective for someone who does not have any idea about blockchain. So I think we'll take more questions if we have some time left, but as we have talked about the skills here, we have talked about the trends in blockchain, what are the career paths which will be in demand in blockchain, which you can take up few examples of that. We have talked about what's exactly changing in the blockchain space in 2024 and beyond, and we have talked about a lot of things which you can being covered through this program by IIT Kanpur, the professional certificate program in blockchain, which is of 4 months duration. So we would love to know, are you interested in enrolling into the professional certificate program in blockchain by IIT Kanpur? Also, not to forget the bonus offer you'll be getting for attending this webinar. So that is pretty amazing as well. So I've just launched a quick poll here. We would love to know your interest here. So basically we can learning consultants from Simplilearn can get back to you with a much more detailed walkthrough of the program. If you have any questions, we can do that. So you can see a quick poll here with yes and no. Here, in case you're planning to join, maybe not immediately within 6 months, within 3 months, or within basically 2 months or next year. So we have a lot of cohorts which go throughout the year. So the bonus offer still will be applicable, whenever you take up the program. So you don't have to worry about that. I obviously will be, asking you, when do you plan to enroll? What exactly approximate timeline you are planning to enroll as well. So we will have an idea, basically, when exactly are you planning to take up the course. So I think a good explanatory walkthrough of the program is something, you can share with us over the poll here as option yes. And this is something will help us out, in order to reach out to you and even take you through the program in much more detail by IIT Kanpur here. So I think as I was speaking, I am seeing almost 95% interest towards the program, so that's great. So, but I think I'll give 15 seconds more for the poll here. And meanwhile, we will, if we have any time left, we'll take more questions, but actually we have exceeded the time of the session. So I think we'll just quickly, I'll take you through the enrollment steps of the program here, and also the program fee and the schedule. I think someone asked about that as well. So I will quickly take you through the upcoming cohort here. So we'll take just 5 minutes more for that. So I think I'll just give 10 seconds more for the poll here. So again, are you interested in enrolling into the professional certificate program in blockchain by IIT Kanpur? Would you like to explore this program more? So you can let us know by answering yes to the poll, which you see on the screen here. And this will help us in reaching out to you, in much more detailed walkthrough of the program here, to give you a much more idea from much more than what we have covered in this program as well. Awesome. I think we tried answering a few questions, but we are a little bit out of time here. So I think we will basically take maybe a few more minutes for the enrollment steps and the program fee schedule and a few more things, we would love from you when do you plan to enroll. So I think I'll just give 5 seconds more for the poll here before we move on, because I can see a lot of folks have already shared their responses about the poll here. And that's pretty positive. So, so I think 5 seconds more for the poll for a few of the folks who are still thinking about it. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll and quickly take you through the enrollment steps here of the program here. So as we can see, the enrollment steps, there are very 3 simple, easy steps you can follow. You need to submit an application to us at askus@simplilearn.net. Based on that, your application will be going for a review based on the eligibility and prerequisites we have already shared with you. And also, based on all these things, you'll be getting basically a learning consultant will be contacting you from Simplilearn and taking you on a much more detailed walkthrough of the program. If you have any questions about the program, as I shared with you earlier. And also the program fee for this one is 1,69,000 INR rupees. And also, if you're looking for EMI financing options, we have available for as low as 5,751 rupees per month. So here, the next upcoming cohort, the most recent cohort, which is happening on 14th of November, the induction. And the classes for this will be starting on 18th of November. And as I mentioned earlier that we have these cohorts, are coming throughout the year, but we do take only 25 to 30 folks per cohort in order to make sure you're getting all the attention, that is required when you join this program. So that is also we do. Also, if you need any more assistance, you can reach out to us at askus@simplilearn.net. I'll share that email ID and even the program link on the chat here. For folks I notice have joined from different countries as well. You can check out for your own region there. So moving on. So for folks who have already shared interest towards enrollment and also basically would be interested in the bonus offer as well for the program. So I've shared a quick poll here and we would love to know how soon do you plan to enroll into the program. So there are 4 quick options here. So if for someone who basically wants to join immediately in the cohort which I've shown you and maybe the next one. you can choose the option immediately. And if you're still thinking about it, not sure, where basically not planned it yet, so I would suggest select the last three options, which is the most suitable for you, because you can avail the bonus offer in any of those options. So that is not an issue. But I would recommend to choose one. So this will give us an idea when exactly to reach out to you. The learning consultants, from Simplilearn, who basically will be reaching out to you for taking you through a much more detailed walkthrough of the program before you enroll. So I'll just read out these options here immediately: within 3 months, within 6 months, and more than 6 months from now. So I think I'll just give 5 seconds more for the poll here. And Sandeep, so sorry, like I think we are just extended by a few minutes. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Awesome. I think most of the folks have already shared their responses for the poll here, but I'll just give 5 seconds more for folks who have shared enrollment interest. Please do that because this is something that will be helpful for us when we reach out to you. Awesome. So 5 seconds more I'll give for the poll here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll. And let's move on to the last poll here of the session. Basically, this is just to understand if you need assistance in enrolling into the program. So there are 2 quick options here. This is for folks who already have shared with us, when basically they want to enroll, are interested in going through the program in much more detail. And they also basically have shared with us, when do you plan to enroll? So please do let us know if you need any help in enrolling. And obviously, Simplilearn will be assisting you with that happily. So I think I'll just give 10 seconds more for this poll. As I was speaking, most of the folks have already shared the responses. We've gotten a very quick audience here. And awesome. I think I'll just give 5 seconds more because I see that folks have already shared the responses for the poll here. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me quickly end the poll. And as we have exceeded like the session by a few minutes, first of all, would like to thank Sandeep, for first of all taking the time out and taking us through this industry masterclass session on blockchain, basically what we can expect in the future in the next year. Sandeep, would you like to say something to the crowd before we end the session?
No, I think I'm fine. I'm kind of sleepy now.
It's okay. I think, yeah, definitely. I think we should end the session now. And good night to everyone. Good morning, good afternoon. I think we saw people joining from different regions, but yeah, definitely. It's basically time to close the session. And have a good night. Have everyone take care. And thank you for being an amazing audience here. Thank you so much once
Thank
again,
you.
Sandeep.
Thank you. Good night.